Hey everybody, it's Robert Sivori again with Keller Williams Village Square Realty. Phone number is 908-432-2526. I am a licensed real estate agent. Happy to be doing real estate, not as my job, but as my career. I love it. Anyway, wanted to speak with everybody regarding loan modifications. Now, uh, in no way that I'm trying to discourage anybody from getting a loan modification. There are great programs out there. They are excellent ways for people to um, prevent foreclosure and to save their home. However, there are some loan modifications out there that kind of don't make any sense, and I'm going to give you an example of one. And also, I like to make these videos, and I've said this before in other videos, to educate people, to instruct them, because many times people, what they do is they don't know what they're signing. Okay, and this is actually what happened with one of with a good friend of mine, who I'm going to show you an example of the loan modification that he did. He was in a way so um uh either eager or anxious just to get that loan modification done, that when he was given the opportunity to do so, he signed some documents. And after he did it, he didn't even know what exactly he signed onto. He knew it was a loan modification, it was approved. He was happy. But when he sat down with me and he asked me exactly how it worked, keep in mind, after he received the loan modification, all I had to do was go into the county clerk records, and I told him, look, this is what you have. All right, I mean, it's recorded. It's got your signatures, and that's that. He was in awe, and it prompted him to do something else with his properties. But I'm gonna explain everything to you right now, and here we go. So. I over here have a copy of a deed, the deed that he and his wife uh, um, received when they purchased the property back in June 16, 2006. This is a copy over here of his only mortgage that he received. Now, keep in mind, I'm sure that you see a lot of blank spaces here. I do not have permission from him. I did ask him. I don't have permission from him to disclose any of the information regarding the property. But he did say that it was okay for me to disclose the example of the loan modification and what he and his wife went through, and his family as well. So here's a copy of the deed. Here's a copy of the first mortgage that he received. Here's a copy of the loan modification agreement, and let's begin this. So first, you will have over here a copy of the deed. So as you can see, let me take my calculator out too, because we're definitely going to need that soon. And by the way, I think this video is going to definitely be a little long, but I'm going to split it into two parts so that you can watch at your convenience, and also it won't seem that long. Anyway, this is a copy of the deed. So as you can see, the property was purchased in June 16, 2006 for $445,000. Let me just zoom that in right there, for $445,000. A two-unit property. Uh, can't remember the amount of down payment that he gave. I think it was only 3.5% down because it was an FHA loan. So let's see, 445, right, times 3.5%. Oops, times. So his down payment was almost $16,000, right? Um, so there you go. That's a copy of the deed. Now you have over here the mortgage that he received the same day that he purchased the property. So you see he received the deed, title of the property on June 16, 2006, and he received the mortgage the very same day in order to purchase the property. All right. And the mortgage that he had was for $438,124. Okay. So let's keep that in mind. Okay, as we move as we progress with this presentation. Um, Let me see. Yeah, that's the mortgage amount. Just some information. By the way, these are recorded documents that you can read. That most counties out there have them online, so you could get them online. All right. So, this is as I mentioned, even though the owner wanted me to keep this private, this is public information. As you can see, though, I whited out the more personal information. Um, and but if anybody out there does want to, get copies of the recorded mortgages or recorded deeds, you can most likely go onto your county websites and get them. Not all counties have them. I know that here in New Jersey, Essex County does not have it online, and I think pretty much pretty much every other county does. All right. Not that that's not good about us about Essex County. I'm sure that they have their reason for doing so. But that's okay. By the way, Essex County staff over at the hall at the Hall of Records, fantastic, phenomenal over there. Very helpful. And that's the one place where I learned how to look at these recorded documents, whether there were deeds, assignments of mortgages, discharges of mortgages, actual mortgages, list pendances, federal taxes, and all that. I learned it over there. Very helpful individuals over there. Anyway, let's move on. So, what had happened was that the owner of this property was late on his mortgage for not just several months, but for several years. And he contacted his bank and asked if they were okay with doing a loan modification. And, good for him. He was successful at it. He received a loan modification. So, what I'm going to do is on this next page, I'm going to show you a copy of the loan modification that he received. So let's take a look at this. So this is also a recorded document. This was recorded on June, what was it? On or about February 2016. So it was about 10 years after he purchased his property. So in other words, maybe he was behind on his mortgage. Maybe he paid for 5 years, and then he was behind on his mortgage for 5 years. Okay, maybe he was paid his mortgage on time for 7 years, but then was behind on his mortgage for 3 years. Okay, but 10 years did elapse. So between when he purchased the property over here, right, and when he received the loan modification, right. So let's take a look at this loan modification. As you can see over here, this loan modification, there's verbiage in here. The first comments here are that that this recorded document goes hand in hand with the recorded mortgage that this homeowner received. So you can see the $438,000, $438,124. Once again, matches with the same amount of the first recorded mortgage. Okay, of the recorded first mortgage and only mortgage. Okay, so let's scroll a little bit down so you could see what he received. So basically what happened here was that the bank said to him, hey, starting on February 1st, 2016, all right, we're going to give you a new balance against your property, right? So up to right now, with this video, we don't know how much his total balance was, meaning that whatever he owed plus all his late payments, plus all the attorney fees on the bank's end, plus any other little fees, list pendants, recording fees, all that stuff. We don't know what that is right now. Okay, what we do know is that the bank is basically saying to him, you're going to restart your mortgage, okay, and you're going to get and we're going to give you a balance of $389,000, okay. You're going to make monthly payments of, where is it? I got to find that, of $1,886.91 for the next 30 years, and they will end on January 1st, 2046. So, in other words, he's going to get a whole new 30-year mortgage, okay, against his property. And that's another way of saying all the payments that he had made in the past, starting in 2006. I'm going to go now to the first mortgage, right? Forget it. It's done. It doesn't exist anymore. His bank has given him a brand new 30-year mortgage on his property, right, based on this amount. And I'm assuming that this amount was what the house appraised for. So let's just assume that, right? So the house appraised back on February 1st, on or about February 1st, 2016, for about $390,000. Okay. And the bank said, look, we're going to do something great for you. We're going to give you 4.125 fixed rate for the life of your loan, which is an amazing rate. We're going to start this on this day. All right. You're going to make these monthly payments. All right. For the next 30 years, you're going to keep the 4.125% rate, right? Here's the rate. And the very last payment you have to make has to be on January 1st, 2046. So as you see here, you see this 2016 and 2046, that's a 30-year difference, okay? So once again, as I'm mentioning to you, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the owner did not know what he signed, and I'm telling you right now, he had no idea that he was gonna get a whole new 30-year mortgage. He thought that he only had 20 years left on his mortgage because he bought his house in 2006, and because he was getting the modification in 2016, he thought, oh, I'm sure that these 10 years that went by are going to count towards the 30 years that I typically have to pay for a loan, okay? Although we all know that 99% of people never stay in their houses for 30 years and finish paying off that loan. But the reason, I'm sure everybody knows that the reason why there are 30-year mortgages is to make our monthly payments more flexible and more convenient for all of us, okay? So let's remember this, right? So now his balance is $389,000, okay? And let's remember also that, hold on, that when he received his mortgage, when he bought the house, it was at 438,124. Okay, so I'm gonna end part 1 of the video right now, and please watch part 2.